something I really want to know is why did you first like want to start working with me in the first place?
Because like I just said as well, that I sort of felt like I was coasting for like the past year. I was comfortable with the amount of money that I was making, but I wasn't satisfied.
Mm.
Like it was easy. I didn't have to do that much work. I liked doing the work, but I was basically at like a financial plateau for yeah, more than a year or around a year. And then you start to look around and at the guys that you sort of started with around the same time. Like I started with Orestes and Tristan around the same time. Like we were in the same group at the start. And I see these guys and they're like they're working hard and they're making more than me. And obviously you were with them as well. And then you start to think like, okay, they had the same 24 hours for the past couple of years. We started around the same time. So there's something that they're doing that I'm not doing. Obviously, there's something that they know or do that I don't know yet. Especially because they're um like I think you're younger than me as well. You're like 23, right?
25, bro.
Oh shit, 25. Okay. I'm 25 as well, about to turn 26. But that's something that I liked as well. Like it's easy to look at a guy who's like 30 or 35 or 40 and say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna listen to what he says. But then something that I realized is, okay, but that guy had like 15 more years to figure out what I want to figure out, which is of course still fine. But what I always found interesting is looking at guys who are the same age or younger, and then trying to see what they know or what they do better than I do, because they got way further than I did, even though we've been alive for the same amount of time, basically. So that's why when we were talking, I realized like, okay, this guy obviously knows something that I don't know. He's doing something that I don't do, and yeah, that's why basically.
I respect that, bro, because a lot of people they refuse to learn from people younger than them just based on the fact that they're younger than them. Their ego won't let it. So it says a lot about you and your character to be able to one recognize that and two be able to not let your ego get in the way and be like, I'm going to go learn from this person. That says a lot about you and your character.
Yeah, I mean, at the start, it was kind of difficult. Like when you see 16-year-olds, for example, making like 20K while you're like making five or six. But yeah, after a while, you just have to be honest with yourself and you have to look at the people who can help you, whether they're 10 years younger than you or 10 years older.
Yeah. That's it. It's finding that bottleneck and fixing it, you know. But
Yeah.
something I think is really cool about well, something that I found really cool about like when you coming into the program and taking action. Like obviously you mentioned that you were comfortable sort of coasting in this like same place, same income, same action, same thoughts. Everything was the same and predictable. But you had some really exciting news since joining in your personal life, and you said as obviously you were inspired to take action. Now, why don't you share a little bit about that? Because I find that
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I would say that that's like my biggest win of the year. Um, Before I joined, I didn't really know where I wanted to go with my life in general. Not just financial, but also personal. Like I didn't really have a timeline in my head of where I want to go the next year, the next 5 years. And then I filled out like the personality audit that you gave me, and like we did a bunch of talking about it as well through the chat and the voice notes. And I was always kind of skeptical about those personality audits, but I filled it in, and it sort of completely changed my identity, or it helped me frame my identity much more clearly. And then, like a month after I filled that in, I finally decided to get engaged with my long-term girlfriend. So that happened, and it was like for a very large part because of the clarity that I got from the personality audits. Like I realized, okay, I want to be a husband. I want to be a father. I want to be someone who takes care of my family, which has since then also helped me sort of lock in more because I know that I want to provide for my future family. So yeah, your personality audit actually like caused an engagement.
I'll take that. That's a win. But yeah, I mean, there's that quote. I don't know if it is like from the Bible, but I've heard it from like priests and stuff. And it's like a man without pleasure, sorry, a man without purpose distracts himself with pleasure, right? And obviously, we've been speaking a lot about over the past few days that, since you getting clearer on that direction, you've been able to focus more as well. And since getting clearer on where your time's actually going, you've been able to do a lot more dedicated work. Whereas you used to maybe, not have that direction, not have that purpose, and maybe you work for 2 hours a day and coast. Now you've made it's like obvious to you that actually I can put in a lot more hours and go a lot further than where I want to go. I think that's been another cool win that I've seen in you anyway.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get to it because like you always kind of know that there's always room for improvement when it comes to discipline and when it comes to focus. But when you gave me the tip to like do the actual time audit and track where all of my hours were going, that was an easy way for me to actually put it into practice. And again, it's sort of like holding up a mirror to yourself. It's not like you can go wishy-washy about it, like, yeah, okay, I think today I did like a couple of hours of work, but I finished all my to-dos and yeah, it's fine. So yeah, that's been another very good thing up until now. Like getting the practical resources, which you have tried yourself, which works, and then using it for myself, and like yeah, actually seeing okay, that does work.
No, that's awesome, bro. And yeah, like 100%, that's where I get all of this from. It's just from, me doing it myself, me going through it the hard way, me wasting time, me having to be honest with myself and know that actually I'm being a lazy piece of shit. No mentor is going to help me. I need to just be disciplined. And I think one, having a clear goal to be disciplined for, two, having a bigger why, like you said, now you want to be a father, you want to be a husband. For me, obviously, my girlfriend's pregnant, due any day. So it's like we've got bigger things to work for. And that makes me work hard. That gives me something to work towards. That makes me want to find solutions and fix my bottlenecks. But bro, I mean, something that I found really cool about you as well is how you're actually finding alignment, right? You're saying no to clients, you push clients away, like you're actually taking on what's right for you so that we can grow to a place you want to be rather than just taking money or like taking deals on for the sake of money.
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's yeah, that's something else that I can talk about. Like I was I was coasting and I wasn't really doing a lot of outreach, and then kind of as soon as I got clear, it's funny how the universe works. Like as soon as I got clear on what I wanted to do and sort of the people that I want to target, um, like an opportunity falls into my lap for another client, and we get on a call, and it's a good conversation. Except the client itself, like the business, wasn't really in my niche, not really something that I enjoyed. But I thought to myself, okay, let's just get the money in, let's just send him something. But then I realized that was again kind of thinking with my back against the wall instead of looking at where I wanted to go in the next couple of years. And then yeah, like you say, I thought back to the personality audit and I look at what I planned out for the next couple of years, and I realized, okay, I'm not going to want to work with this client for even 6 months, even 3 months, even, like forget about a year or 2 years or 3 years. And that helped me then realize that, oh, yeah, okay, I don't actually have to take this just for the money. I can just leave it to the side of it and then wait or work to find something that actually suits me and that I can actually see fitting into my long-term future plan. So that was very cool as well. Yeah. Because I've been waiting for a new client for a while. Because usually opportunities tend to fall into my lap, even if I don't do work or I don't do outreach. And then I take them anyway because it's easy money. But yeah, now I know where I want to go,
That's
which is good as well because now I have to find another guy. I have to find other clients because I just like rejected someone else. So puts more pressure on me as well, which is good.
Yeah, and bro, like whether it's pressure or just it's you truly being abundant, someone that's scarce, they have to take whatever comes to them. Someone that's abundant understands that there's a million deals, there's a million opportunities. If one isn't right for you, by saying like no, you're saying yes to the right ones, but by saying yes to the wrong ones, you're saying no to the right ones. So it says a lot about the person, like your rejection, the things you turn away says a lot more about you than the things you take on.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. Because now I also have more time to actually go and look for clients that I want to work with long term. So
Yeah, there you go, bro. Something I found cool as well is like, for like, there's obviously dudes at different points in the offer, right? And some people have all day to work on like new stuff. Some people are bogged down with client work. Some people are, trying to get, more clients. But, you've been traveling, you've been like ha having family over, you've been living life, and your income has just stayed the same, if not going up. Like it hasn't impacted you. We're systemizing stuff. Although you've maybe wanted to put more hours in, you've been able to make the same money on like reduced hours, which is really cool.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's been like basically since I started with the coaching, like 2 weeks after that, we went to my fiance's home country to visit her parents, and then we were yeah, basically it was like an entire month without any structure, and then we got back, and then her parents came over to our place, and now actually she's gone again. She's back to Bulgaria for a little bit, which yeah, I mean it's horrible routine wise. And I remember talking to you about it, like, oh shit, I'm not getting as much work done as I wanted to. And then you just asked me, like, okay, but are you at the same amount of income? And I was like, huh, yeah, yeah, I am. And then you were, wait, then why are you worrying, dude? That's exactly what we're in the game for, to be able to live your life without having to like trade in all your hours for the amount of money that you want to make. So that was a very good insight as well. Yeah. Yeah. And I stayed the same the entire couple of months.
There you go. You know, because like even if you think about like one of those trips would have been like your whole yearly allowance of holiday at a 9 to 5. And again, to make the money, the sort of money you're making, you know, like to do that in a 9 to 5 and take all that holiday, like it's unheard of, bro. You wouldn't be able to do that. So it's
Yeah,
we got to like I said, reframe it and see it for what it is because most people would kill just to have that freedom, let alone the income you're making. They'd kill just for that freedom.
yeah, exactly, dude, exactly. So yeah, to say the least, like mentally speaking and mindset speaking, the past couple of months have been like I can feel myself moving into a completely different direction in life in comparison to if I hadn't joined the coaching, basically. Even though I haven't made a lot of financial gains yet, which is my own fault for not taking action, like I can feel the fundamentals in my personality changing to the degree that I know how much I'm going to make in the next couple of months and next couple of years. So very, very good investment.
Awesome, bro. And what do you think like what for you are the best parts about, you know, working with me? Is it the one-on-ones? Is it the group calls? Is it the review like me reviewing your work? Like what do you get the most out of?
Um, I mean, probably like I think like you said at the start as well, we're pretty similar personality wise. And you were in a lot of similar positions and situations before you got to your current level of success. So then I feel like when I talk to those when I talk about those problems, like not being able to put in enough work, not being disciplined enough, not having like a North Star basically, that you understood that very well. And it wasn't like cookie cutter guru advice, like just work harder or put your phone in the other room or something. Like I felt like you genuinely understood my situation, which usually isn't what you would expect from sort of like a marketing coach, you know. But yeah, I would say that like the personality insights because that's had the most impact on me as well.
Awesome. Awesome, bro. Well, I'm glad it has, you know, and that I think that's what I wanted to give people with this coaching. Because like I said, I've been in those groups where it's one size fits all. You're like, I'm texting my mentor like paragraphs and paragraphs asking for advice, and he's like, oh, just scale, bro. And I'm like, please,
Yeah,
you know, like
basically.
yeah. So no, I'm really glad, bro. And what would you say to someone that's maybe on the fence of joining right now?
Um, a good question to ask yourself is what you told me at the start as well. Like you can say no and you can keep the money in your pocket, but are you sure that 6 months down the road you're not just going to be having this conversation again, either with Morgan or with someone else? Are you sure that 6 months down the road you're going to be in a position where you feel like you don't have to get on these calls anymore, where you don't need a coach anymore? That's what I would say because for most people that answer is going to be no. And obviously, if they're looking at something like this, they know they want to change and they want to go somewhere, but they don't know how yet. And it's probably going to take a lot more work than you think, and in different areas. Like it's not just going to be write more outreach emails.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, it's going to be hey, figure out who the hell you are, what you're doing wrong, and what you should be doing in your life, and then maybe write more outreach emails. That's what I would say, and that's what you learn when you're in Morgan's coaching.
No, that's awesome, bro. And it's true, right? Like whether it's my coaching, whether it's anyone else's coaching, like you're never going to enjoy spending the money on a coach. Like it's never going to be comfortable, you know, but you can't be comfortable and grow at the same time. So it's like you either bite the bullet now and your life be unrecognizable within 6 months, or you live the same day with the same thoughts, with the same actions, creating the same outcomes. And we have this conversation again in 6 months, and you're there scratching your head like what went wrong. Meanwhile, we're all, you know, 6 months richer, better, bigger, stronger, and more aligned. So yeah, I mean the choice is theirs really, but I think you nailed that, bro.
Yeah, yeah, perfect, perfect way to put it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, brother, I appreciate you jumping on, man, taking the time to share your thoughts. You're an absolute star and a legend to work with. You know, you embody the magnetic client method to a T. I'm looking forward to, you know, obviously the next few months together and smashing your goals, raising your income, and obviously working towards saving up for this wedding, bro. Massive congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Couldn't have done it without you. Couldn't have made the decision basically. Well, I would have if she ever sees this video. I definitely would have, but it helped. It helped having clarity. So yeah, thank you a lot for the past couple of months, and yeah, let's crush it in the next ones.
Take care, brother.